Welcome to Danielle Deandra's kitchen. Today's recipe is my homemade pepper steak. I hope you all enjoyed this recipe, but before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video. Keep watching. Okay, y'all, we're gonna dive straight into the recipe. I have 3 beef sirloin steaks that I thinly sliced. You can slice them to your liking, but this is how thin I would like my beef to be. I also sliced my beef right out of the pack and then I washed it off afterwards. So let's get right into seasoning our beef. First, let's add a tablespoon of baking soda. I'm going to mix that baking soda around really well so it can tenderize the meat. And now we're just going to pile all of our other ingredients on top, and then we're going to mix it really well at the end. So next is a tablespoon of soy sauce, a tablespoon of minced garlic. I have a tablespoon of each Creole seasoning and garlic powder. A teaspoon of honey, a tablespoon of vegetable oil, a half a cup of beef broth, and last but not least, a tablespoon of cornstarch, which will thicken up our sauce. Now let's mix this very well. And now we're going to let this mixture marinate inside the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. While the steaks are marinating, I'm going to make the sauce that we'll add at the end of our recipe. You'll need these ingredients to create the sauce: 3/4 cup of beef broth, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon and a half of cornstarch, a tablespoon of oyster sauce, and a tablespoon of soy sauce. And now I'm going to mix this very well. Make sure you get that cornstarch to move around at the bottom. Our sauce is complete. Now let's move on to the stove to sear our steak and complete this recipe. Let's place our thinly sliced steak into the pan. Cook the steak to your family's liking. And once the steak is cooked to your liking, go ahead and pull it out. I'm going to have to do 2 batches of steak, so let me do my other batch. Okay, now that I have cooked my 2 batches of steak, I went ahead and put them on the side. And now I'm going to add in my onion, green and red bell pepper. And yes, these are my stored veggies. I made a video on that. I'm going to go ahead and link it in the description box. Once your vegetables start to create a little moisture at the bottom of your pot, you can go ahead and add in the steak. Now that our steak and vegetables are cooking together, I'm going to add in our sauce. Don't forget to give it a good mix because the cornstarch will get stuck at the bottom. I have our mixture on a low simmer. As you can see, the sauce is thickening up. Once it reaches the thickness that I like, I will go ahead and pour this over rice. So let me show you our final product.